Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about mastering looping, and then specifically for smooth and seamless transitions. Loops are very simple, however, they're one of those things you need to master to immediately put you in that category of intermediate and maybe even that beginner level of advanced DJ. Very simple skill, however, other DJs instantly respect you when they can hear that you know how to master and use loops. And then of course your audience appreciates your music and your mix much more. So without further ado, let's jump on in.
You are listening to the DJ Mentor. Real tips, real music, real growth.
So when we're talking about loops are nothing crazy. They're not too foreign. Music itself is just a series of loop after loop. So you have series of loops, and then those loops, we expand those into phrases. And as we've said in the beginner videos, our songs are a combination of phrase after phrase after phrase. That's what makes up your song. And then our mixes should be a smooth flowing of the music going from phrase to phase. Nothing too complicated, but essentially if we're going to master loops, especially for our transitions, all we're doing is taking control of the natural structure of music. There's an infinite ways to use loops. We can use loops to build tension, but in this specific episode, we're going to use loops at the beginning and the end of the song to reduce our chance of making a mistake. So if you're going to take anything away from this video, it's that we want to start using loops as early as possible so that we eliminate any more, too much time to beat match. We beat match early, and then once we've set our loop running in the background, we can kind of just relax and then listen for the perfect time to bring that song in. Okay, easier said than done, so let's jump on into a practical example. I'm going to open up Rekordbox. Okay, so guys, before we even get started, let's break down the loop buttons and how to set and close the loop. So first of all, this is in, that's how you open the loop. This is out, that's how you close the loop. Wherever the Q button is, that is also where your loop will begin. As we can see, the Q button is at the beginning over here. So if we play this song and then press out, the loop is going to open where the Q button is and then close wherever we put the out. This is how we extend the loop. If we call forward, so that doubles the loop. If we press it again, that doubles the loop again. If we press back, that halves our loop length. If we press half again, that halves our loop length. This button exits the loop, so now the song will continue to play. But then also, you see it says 4-beat here. So wherever we press it, that'll create a 4-beat loop. On some of the controllers and CDJs, you'll see sometimes a 4-beat, or you'll see a button that says 4 or a button that says 8. If you press the 4, it sets a 4-beat loop just like this. On the CDJ 3000, there's also an 8 button that'll create an 8-beat loop or a 2-bar loop. And then both of our controllers have the same loop buttons, and it's as simple as that. You open the loop where you want, close the loop where you want. Extend the loop if you have to, exit the loop when you have to. So the 4 and 8 beat loop buttons are especially useful sometimes towards the end of the song, because maybe you missed a cue point of the next song, so you missed bringing this next song in exactly where you wanted. That button is a lifesaver where you can just press it once at the very end and then know your 4-beat or 1-bar loop has been set instantly. Okay, so we've jumped into Rekordbox. I have my song playing. Let me turn on my master cue. Okay, so what I'm going to do is load my second song. And let's match the BPM. Let's speed this song up a little bit. We'll match up around 74. 3. Turn this down a little bit. Okay, next step, we're going to bring our second song in on phase. So let's just skip to the middle of this first song. Now we're going to listen, bring this second song in. Second song is in. Sounds pretty much beat matched. So next what I'm going to do is set my loop. This one will be a 4-bar loop. So as you can see, we have a 4-bar loop going in the background, and now I'm just going to listen. I've beat matched. I can calm down, reduce the chance of making a mistake when I bring this song in. We'll let this phase go by. Our loop is just running in the background. I can turn my cue on or off if I don't want to hear it in the background. It's pretty much set. I can chill. Let's make sure trims are about equal, volume about equal. Okay, I'm gonna get ready to start bringing my song in. I'll fade it in. Okay, second song is in. I ended the loop.
Red bottoms on my feet, looking bloody on me. You know everywhere I go, I got some money on me. I can't do the Kenzo, that shit look funny on me.
And that's it, as simple as that. So let's do a few more examples. Those were hip-hop songs. Let's bring in some house tracks and do the same thing. Okay, so I have another song loaded. And let's bring in another song. Okay, so let's just jump ahead in this song here. Let's say we're coming towards the end of the song. I'm gonna listen, bring my second song in on phase. Second song is in. For house music, I like to set 8-bar loops. So let's get ready. I'm just listening. So I have my loop ready. You know what? It's not on phase the way I like it. Let's try again. Okay, I'm beat matched. I'm gonna close this loop when I'm ready. Okay, so loop is ready in the background. And I think about we're ready to bring it in. So bring in the second song in. Make sure you exit the loop. Now I can already tell that this first song is gonna end before I'm ready. So we're also gonna create a loop on this first song, because it's going to take about 1 minute total for this for the bass in the second song to come in where I want it to come in. So let's get ready for a loop on this first song. Set a 2-bar loop. I'm going to expand it, just make it a little longer, and I'm slowly fading it out. I like to sit around 70%. And we can get ready to cut the bass off on this first song. Cut it off here or later if you want. And now we fully brought in that second track. We're still always beat adjusting. However, creating that loop as early as possible, it creates reassurance that we're not going to mess up. Let's get ready to fade the first track out. Okay, and that was an example of setting a loop at the beginning of the song we're bringing in, as well as setting a loop at the end of the track that was coming out so that we don't drop the groove, we don't drop the beat, we keep it flowing. So since we're flowing, let's bring in another track. So let's just jump ahead again. Pretend we're later on in the song. Let's go even further. Okay, I'm gonna bring in my second song. Set a 4-bar loop expanded to an 8-bar loop. Beat match in the background. Okay, our song is beat match, but guys, I can hear the kicks are phasing, so I'm not gonna bring it in yet. There's just gonna be too much noise, too much of a bassy drum sound, so I'm just gonna let the loop run in the background. Again, this is the point of loops. It helps us time the best or the better time to bring the song in. And I think the song's gonna die off, the bass coming up. Yeah, this is a better time to bring the second song in. So I'm gonna fade it up. And as you saw, we set a loop at the end of the song to maintain the beat so it doesn't end. So simple, guys. Okay, let's get ready to, let's echo this song out. You can play around with it. It's as simple as that. Master this, and again, instantly, you're at very least a intermediate level DJ. I was looping during a set I played recently. So I played this set about 3 days ago, and I got really, really good feedback. The video so far on YouTube has a couple thousand views, very good feedback, and the whole set I was looping. But the point is, the looping saved me when I had to change my tracks up. So I had a lot of pre-planned music, but I only played about 50% of the pre-planned music. The other 50% of the set was completely on the fly. However, I still kept it going smoothly by using this technique of looping. You can check out that set over here somewhere on the screen if you want. Take a listen for yourself. I would say it's not my favorite set. It's a great set, but I would say it's about 95% of my best work. 100% of my best work is when I'm fully prepared and I can kind of play everything I want. I kind of have an idea of the best places to transition because the night before I've practiced for at least an hour and heard how each of those songs play together rather than switching things up on the fly. But as an intermediate level DJ with these basic skills that make you, a master, you can play songs on anyone's USB in any location. So guys and girls, looping is very simple, but a skill you must absolutely master. Once you master looping, you sound more polished, you stand out, but most of all, you're in control of the music. It's one of those skills I believe you must master before you start playing in front of people because it greatly reduces your chance of making mistakes. So remember, the whole point of this tutorial is to master looping for clean transitions, effortless transitions. So with looping like this, you're never going to drop the beat. You're always going to keep the flow going. So you're not going to get yourself stuck up in those sticky situations. Not to mention, start those loops as early as possible so that you reduce the time you need to do things like beat match. You're more confident that when the time comes to switch, it's a lot more chill, a lot more easier to get or to keep the flow going. And again, this puts you immediately in that intermediate to lower level, advanced level of DJing. And if you want to level up even faster, you can contact me for one-on-one coaching. I only have 4 spots available because this one-on-one coaching is tailored specifically to you and your needs. So we look at where you are on your DJ journey. And then the 10 hours of lessons is tailored to get you to the next level. So if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, it's all online and the details are in the description below. Guys, make sure you leave a comment. I'm paying attention to the comments, and like I said, every tutorial from here on out will be intermediate to advanced. However, I look at the comments and I pay attention to where you guys are, what the real world feedback is. So if maybe we get a beginner question, we can do a tutorial based off of whatever that question is. All right, that's it for this week. I'll see you guys later.